What is 1 hour of your life worth? The answer depends almost entirely on one thing: where you were born. In some countries, an hour of work buys a full meal for a family. In others, it barely covers a cup of coffee. And the countries where people work the longest hours are almost never the ones where people earn the most. Here's what the data actually shows. Start with the obvious. Average annual salary in raw US dollars. Switzerland near the top. Luxembourg. Iceland. The United States. Down the list: Germany, Canada, Australia, the United Kingdom. Further down: Spain, Portugal, Poland. At the bottom: Greece, Hungary, Mexico. This is the ranking most people picture when they think about global salaries. Rich countries earn more, poorer countries earn less. Simple, intuitive, and misleading. Because a dollar in Zurich does not buy what a dollar buys in Warsaw, or in Mexico City, or in Tokyo. To compare salaries honestly, you have to account for what that money actually buys. $3,000 a month. In parts of Mexico, that covers rent, food, and transport, with room to spare. In Zurich, it barely covers a studio apartment. Same number. Completely different lives. So economists use something called purchasing power parity, or PPP. The OECD tracks prices of roughly 3,000 goods and services in each country: bread, rice, electricity, rent, haircuts, public transport, and calculates a conversion factor for every currency. That conversion factor adjusts each country's wages so they reflect actual buying power, not just a raw dollar amount. When the OECD says a Swiss worker earns 87,000 PPP dollars, it means that salary buys the same amount of stuff as $87,000 would in the United States. Apples to apples. After this adjustment, the rankings shift. Luxembourg takes the top spot, $94,447. Iceland second at almost $90,000. Switzerland third at $87,468. The United States fourth at $82,933. At the bottom of 34 OECD countries, Greece at $32,257, and Mexico at $20,433. Now you know what people actually earn in real purchasing power, but that's only half the picture. How many hours do people work for that salary? Because $69,000 means one thing if you work 1,340 hours a year. That's Germany. It means something very different at 2,226 hours. That's Mexico. Plot salary on one axis, hours on the other. The crosshair sits at the 34-country average, $59,200 and 1,633 hours. 4 quadrants. Top left: high pay, low hours. We call it the dream. Top right: high pay, high hours. The grind. Bottom left: low pay, low hours. The chill. Bottom right: low pay, high hours. The trap. 34 countries. 4 stories. 13 countries land in the dream quadrant: above average salary, below average hours. Luxembourg sits at the very top, roughly $94,500 on about 1,470 hours. That's $64.12 per hour, the highest in the dataset, but the most notable position belongs to Germany. Germany works the fewest hours of any country in the dataset, 1,340 per year. Its salary of roughly $69,500 translates to almost $52 an hour. Denmark sits close by, about 1,370 hours, almost $54 per hour, the second fewest hours and the 4th highest hourly rate in the dataset. The rest of this quadrant reads like a map of Western and Northern Europe. The Netherlands, Norway, Belgium, Austria, Switzerland, Iceland. Then the UK, France, Finland, Slovenia. Not a single country outside Europe appears here. 5 countries in the grind: above average salary, above average hours. The United States, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, Ireland. Every single one is English-speaking, the entire Anglosphere, and no one else. The United States earns the highest total salary in this quadrant, almost $83,000, but at 1,810 hours per year. Compare that to Denmark. In the Dream Quadrant, Denmark earns about 11% less in total salary, but nearly 18% more per hour, roughly $54 versus about $46. The difference is 439 hours, 55 8-hour workdays, nearly 11 extra work weeks per year for about 11% more pay. Australia and Canada sit in the middle of this quadrant, both around $41 per hour. Nearly the same hourly rate as Sweden, which sits in the chill quadrant on far fewer hours. 11 countries in the trap. Below average salary, above average hours. This is where the gaps are widest. Draw a line from Greece to Germany. Both are in the European Union. A German worker earns roughly 3 times as much per hour, almost $52 versus about $17, while working 546 fewer hours per year. Same economic bloc, same currency, completely different quadrants. South Korea and Italy tell a quieter story. Korea earns $50,947. Italy earns $51,019, a difference of $72. But Korea works 207 more hours per year for that nearly identical paycheck. 26 extra workdays, same salary, a month more of work. And then there's Mexico, the far extreme. 2,226 hours per year, the most in the OECD, at $9.18 per hour. Luxembourg earns 7 times more per hour than Mexico, while working about 750 fewer hours. 5 countries in the chill quadrant. Below average salary, below average hours. Sweden is the first thing you notice. At $59,058, it sits just $142 below the salary mean. Its hourly rate, $41, matches Australia and Canada, both in the grind, working hundreds of hours more. Sweden is chill by a rounding error. Then there's Japan, the country synonymous with overwork, with karoshi, a word that literally means death from overwork, logs about 1,600 hours per year, below the OECD average. The catch? The OECD counts all workers, including part-time. Japan has a large and growing part-time workforce that pulls the average down. Full-time Japanese workers still log extreme hours. The statistic is accurate. It just measures something different than most people expect. Everything so far has been the OECD 34 of the world's wealthier nations. Zoom out. 6 more countries: India, Bangladesh, Cambodia, Pakistan, Nigeria, Philippines. Now, these numbers come from different sources than our OECD data. World Bank and ILO estimates, which measure income differently. The comparison isn't perfectly apples to apples. But even with generous assumptions, the gap is so massive that the methodology differences don't change the story. Cambodia, $5,500 a year, 2,389 hours, $2.30 per hour. A German worker earns 22.5 times more per hour, while working over 1,000 fewer hours per year. Pakistan logs 2,471 hours, the most in the entire dataset at $2.83 per hour. India, 1.4 billion people, averages $3.61 per hour. Luxembourg earns nearly 18 times more per hour than India, while working fewer hours. Bangladesh, about $2.95 an hour, nearly 2,400 hours a year. This is the country that produces a significant share of the world's garments. A German worker earns the entire Bangladeshi annual salary in about 5 weeks. Look at the chart. Mexico was the worst in the OECD at about $9 an hour. Every one of these 6 countries earns less than Mexico, and 5 of the 6 earn less than half. The bottom of the OECD is still far above the global average. That's not an opinion, that's what the data shows. 40 countries, 2 axes, 4 quadrants. Right now, somewhere in Cambodia, someone is starting their 9th hour of the day. They'll earn about $2.30 for it. Somewhere in Luxembourg, someone just clocked out after 6 hours at $64 each. Same planet, same 24 hours. The single biggest predictor of which quadrant you land in is not how hard you work, not how many hours you put in. It's where you were born.